Hi, it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the greatly subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're joining. I can't get my mouth to speak tonight. If you're enjoying the content as we go along. If you don't know who I am, I'm Sandra Bellamy, author of this beautiful asexual book, which is Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. And that basically shows you through the answers to the questions in this book and through the interviewees' personal stories, just what it feels to be asexual in this highly sexualized world. So yeah, do get your copy if you haven't already. Links are down below. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. So welcome to tonight's episode. I'm really happy to talk about this. So what does it feel like to organise and arrange a whole weekend of asexual meetups? So basically, when I'm recording this now live, it's a Thursday, and from tomorrow, which is a Friday, through until Monday, I will be meeting asexuals, and nothing could give me more pleasure and the feeling of elation I get just from being around asexuals. I mean, I'm seeing all my friends basically, including my bestest, closest asexual friends, and this is just an incredible experience and feeling for me. And you know, if you ever get the opportunity to go to an asexual meetup, go to it. Don't hold back, don't worry, don't fret, don't. I know it's easy for me to say, but once you're there, you will gain so much from going that is worth all the anxiety you might be feeling, or worry or stress, you know, because I know if you're going somewhere with people you don't know, it's very difficult at first, but always trying to make friends with the organizer first, so you've at least got that one person that you can relate to once you go to their meetup. You know, it's really important. And obviously, if you can make friends with some of the other people before you meet them in person, that's a really good idea too. But you know, the main thing is that you go to these meetups. You'll have to probably travel to meetups. You'll either have to be an organizer, get people to come to you like I do, or go to other people's meetups, or do both. You know. But it's really essential to meet different people, to meet people like yourself that's like-minded. So tomorrow I'm meeting two friends. They are staying over in a hotel in my city, because on Saturday is the first main asexual meetup, which is we're going to Breen Theme Park. Now, if you are not sure about what Breen Theme Park is, basically it's a cross between an actual theme park, which has log flumes, roller coasters, etc., and fairground rides. They kind of cross the two over it. It belongs to a holiday camp, but you can actually go there separate just for the day. So we're going to be there all day, literally all day. We're going to be at the train station from like about 7:30 in the morning, and we're going to literally be there till like 8 o'clock at night. The park opens 11 till 8. So by the time we've travelled for over 2 hours, we've caught a train from Exeter to Weston-super-Mare, and then from Weston-super-Mare to Burnham-on-Sea. I live in the UK. You can look this up on Google Maps if you want, so you can see the distance. You know, we've got about a half an hour wait, I think it is, between the train and the bus. So by the time we've done all that, we should just get to the park for about 10 to 11, when the park opens at 11. And the park's open till 8 o'clock at night. It's like the full maximum riding time. I was supposed to go to this for my birthday, but sadly my asexual best friend, he injured his foot actually walking me home after we'd been to a late night show of a cinema that he paid for me for my birthday as an early birthday present. So he hurt his foot. It was so badly swollen, there was no way we could go on rides. So instead, for my birthday, I went for a meal and then to the cinema and watched the last Avengers movie, Endgame. My favourite character died, so that wasn't a great birthday present, that bit. But then, you know, I do like superhero movies. So yeah, it was lovely to see my friend, and I was really sad that he did that with his foot. I was so thankful he took me home, but I felt really bad about it, and it took him weeks to get it better. So I'm really happy to say he's coming back. He'll be with me tomorrow, and then he'll be with me for 4 whole days. Well, near enough 4 whole days. He comes tomorrow afternoon, then with me through till Monday afternoon. It's like 3 whole days, but over 4 days, if you know what I mean. So, and he lives quite a way away. So I'm just so happy. And the other guy lives quite a way away that's coming tomorrow as well. They're both awesome guys. So I'll be with 2 asexuals tomorrow. I'll be meeting up with them, having food. We'll be hanging out. Then when we go to the theme park, there'll be 4 of us in total. Me and 3 others, including my 2 bestest, closest friends. And then we are then on Sunday having another asexual meetup. There's gonna be how many? I think there's gonna be 5 of us. There was gonna be 7. But actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us. Sorry, there's gonna be 6 of us for definite. But there was gonna be a 7th person, but they couldn't make it, and there was an 8th person that wanted to come, but yeah, they've got to do something else, which it can't be avoided. So it's gonna be good. There's gonna be 6 of us, and it's really, 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 really lovely to meet asexuals, and we're going to be going for food and drink on the Sunday for 3 hours. So it's going to be incredible. And then on the Monday is when my bestest, closest friend will still be there. So I'll be seeing them for most of the day. So literally I've got 4 days of meeting asexuals, like non-stop. And I just love it so much, really, really loads. I cannot tell you the feeling I get when I'm around asexuals. It's like they're of the same mindset as me. They really understand me. They get where I'm coming from in my life. They're not interested in sex. They'd rather be doing other things. They're involved in different projects, which I really admire people that are involved in projects and involved in really creative pursuits and expanding their minds and doing different things to the norm in life. I really appreciate that about them, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing all my friends. The other friend tomorrow that's coming, I haven't seen him for ages. He's adorable as well. They're so lovely people, and these are people that attend my meetups regularly, but the 2 that come in tomorrow, they don't even live anywhere near me, and they always come. There's one of my friends that only missed one when he was really ill. So I just I cannot recommend it highly enough. I cannot recommend it highly enough that you go to these meetups, that you meet asexuals. If you go to one meetup and it doesn't suit you, don't get disheartened. Go and try another meetup, because not everyone is going to be of the exact same mindset, but it's important that you get to be around people that are like you as much as possible. And you might click with some people, you might not click with others, because everyone has their own different personalities. I'm an extrovert. I'm very hyper naturally, which I adore. But some people are the opposite to me. So when you go to a meetup, bear in mind there's lots of different types of people there, that we all have one commonality, if you like, is the fact that we lack sexual attraction, and that brings us together. I find it fascinating how when we come from different backgrounds, we like different things, that we've got this one commonality that really draws us together, and that kind of puts us in a room together that maybe otherwise we wouldn't normally be, because maybe we wouldn't have, unless we met through asexuality, we might not have met, because we've got different types of personalities and we have different interests. And that's what I think so wonderful about asexuality. It brings together loads and loads of people. And some of those people wouldn't necessarily come together if it wasn't for being asexual. So, you have to look at this as a really positive thing, that asexuality is amazing. It brings and unites a lot of people together that otherwise probably wouldn't see each other, probably wouldn't speak to each other, probably wouldn't even know each other. And, it's just an incredible euphoric experience. I can't describe it. I mean, I know that when you go to some meetups, it doesn't always work out like that. And this is because we do have lots of different personalities, and you might clash with someone. I can't guarantee you won't, but you don't give up hope. If that happens, you just think, that's fine. That meetup's not for me. I'll go to a different one. You know, some people, they go traveling all over the country to different meetups, you know, and then they get a taste of different personalities, different people, different areas they can go and explore. I mean, personally, my personal self, I like going somewhere I'm going to be actually doing something. You know, like if I'm aimlessly wandering around somewhere, not actually doing much, or not actually, you know, like feeling like I've done much, you know, I that's a bit like, I need to go and do something. Do you know what I mean? So it's like if I go somewhere to a meetup outside my city, I prefer a lot of the time to go and do an activity if there's one in that city to do. However, you know, if we're meeting up specifically for several hours for lunch and food, then I also think that's good. But you know, I still like to do stuff, you know. So if there's stuff to do, it's really important I do it. And I think the beauty of the asexual meetups that I have, it gives people the opportunity who come and stay in hotels to spend extra time with myself and other people, you know? So they're not just coming for a few hours, food and drink. They are literally seeing me and whoever else is staying over for all that period of time, which makes a trip a lot more worthwhile. It gets a bit expensive because you're kind of eating out all the time, because clearly people can't bundle in my flat here. They'd all be sat on the bed and, well, where would I go? Do you know what I mean? So some people have asexual meetups around their home, whereas, you know, when I live here, I can't. You know, you never know. In the future, I might get a grand mansion and then I might have loads of space. But I hate cooking anyway. So unless someone not decides they want to cook, I was like, nah, gotta eat out. So yeah, I'm quite private actually, despite the fact I have YouTube in my home every single night. I do like my, you know, like I do like living in my bedroom. I love that, and because it's, you know, it's what teenagers do, isn't it? And I like it. Do you know what I mean? Being in my bedroom, it's not really appropriate for other people to come in my bedroom all the time. It's a bit private. Do you know what I mean? And so I just wanted to reassure you that, you know, if you do go to meetup, it's not quite what you expected. You can go to other ones. I've had people come to my meetups and I can tell that me and them are very different, and they'll probably be more suited to another meetup. I've had other people come to my meetups and they just can't get enough of them, want to come back again and again and again because they like the atmosphere. They like the way I organise things. They always know where they stand. They always know that when they're going somewhere, the organiser's not going to cancel at the last minute. They're not going to decide they've got something else on, because that's a really important thing if you're going to be an organiser. You can't be an organiser, then all of a sudden say at the last minute, well, I've changed my mind now. Oh, I forgot this work thing. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to be going there now, because that doesn't work if you've got people coming from a long way away. Now, I organise both local and national meets. Obviously, if you're just sticking to really, really local meets, as in, you know, like a 5 or 10 mile radius, perhaps, then, you know, at the last minute is not going to be as imperative. But, you know, if people have made their own plans and specifically penciled out time to come to your meet on purpose, and then you can't even be bothered to show as an organizer, unless it's, of course, it's a life or death situation, you should always be there as the organizer. You know, unless it's a really, really emergency, like, you know, if you've had a fall or something, or something's happened to one of your, you know, like relatives. Like my mum had a accident which happened last Friday. Luckily, it was last Friday. It wasn't tomorrow. That, you know, this Friday, because she had a fall and the ambulance crew came out to her. It was more than just a fall, right? Her face was badly cut and blood, and you know, I won't go into it. It was very bad. I don't, you know, I played it down a bit on my personal social media Facebook profile, but it was like her face was pretty cut blood. Yeah, it really like looked like that she'd been in a boxing ring. But you know, thankfully she's alive. She called an ambulance herself. She was conscious, and so stopped the bleeding herself. So, you know, but if something like that would have happened, you know, they phoned me and the ambulance team wanted me there because my mum couldn't be on her own in case she went unconscious because she had a head injury. So, you know, if something like that happens, then obviously you've got to think quickly and make other arrangements. Like, you know, if the asexuals came down to me and that happened, I would have had to get one of the other asexuals to step in my place, if you know what I mean, because they come so regularly. You know, they would be able to probably just get on amongst themselves because they know what they're doing and they know my city better now. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like they're not competent enough to do that themselves, really, if that situation happened. So there are things that are unforeseeable that, are a matter of life or death. I'm lucky my mum's still alive, to be perfectly honest with you. Very, very lucky. I thank my, heart and the universe and everything that my mum's alive. That was, well, it was quite hard when I saw her. But yeah, she's doing really well. But she didn't have to have any stitches, was a miracle. The ambulance took an hour to get there, and she had to stop the bleeding herself, and the ambulance team were on the phone to her for 20 minutes. But yeah, there was quite a lot of blood that I saw even after I showed up. So, I'm really grateful and thankful. But what the point is there are sometimes, things that an organizer can't foresee that does get in the way. But what I don't like is when I see people are on arranging meetups, for example, on asexuality.org, and some of the organizers are like, well, yeah, if I'm around, then what about doing this? And it's like, if you're the organizer, it's not if you're around, it's like you are the central point. You are the base of the cake, right? If you're the base of the cake, you're the foundation of the cake. There is no way that you should be pulling out and all the other cake just everywhere. You are the foundation of it. You shouldn't be flippant about it. You shouldn't be like, oh, well, maybe I want to go today, but maybe I've got something else on. No, you know what I mean? That's not what an organizer should be like. You should be professional about it. And I know there are other professional organizers, not just me. I know there's a guy who does it in America, the Utah Asexuals, and he's always hot on the case, always organizing tons of meetups, And so there are people that are very organised, but I have seen a few that just come on and it's like, oh, do you fancy meeting up? Oh, yeah, that sounds good. And no one actually does anything. It's all very, like casual, laid back, and to be an actual organizer, you need to have some substance about you, There is a course I'm going to be doing in the future, which is more in depth than I did at the UK Asexual conference, which is how to arrange an asexual meetup, but it's going to be a proper in-depth guide. That will be available to buy on my Asexualized Academy site. I am a bit behind with creating paid for courses at the moment because I've had to do other stuff that's had to take priority at the moment. I'm currently working on my second asexual book, and I have got a traditional publisher interested in it. So obviously, if I've got someone like that, then I've got to follow through on that at the moment because that's the opportunity I need to grab right now. But I'm still going to be doing paid for courses for asexuals because that's one of the requested courses. But obviously, to start off with, you can go back from my asexual meetup talk, which is on this channel from the UK Asexuality conference last year. It's a 45-minute talk. And my friend Martin, who watches this channel, he recorded all of it for you guys to see free. Goes quite in depth just in that, but the course I'm going to be doing is going to be much more in depth. You're going to get like a blueprint of what I like scripts. I say scripts, it's like copy and paste stuff that I say to arrange it so that you know what to say and the right things to say to people and how to arrange things. It takes a lot of work and effort to arrange a meetup. You've constantly got to be like on the ball. You've got to be inviting people, then keeping up with whether they can come or not, then keeping up with their travel arrangements, their accommodation arrangements, recommending places for them to stay. You've got to then coordinate times of trains and buses if you're meeting them. Like I meet my people, my asexual people, my people by foot, so tomorrow I've got to meet one of them at 3:15 at the trains 3:15 at the train station, and then at the coach station 4:15. This is the opposite end of my city. And it'll take me about 25 minutes to walk to the train station to pick my first friend up. Now, if his train's delayed, then obviously, it gives us less time to get up the other end of the city to pick my other friend up. And then we're going to go for food. So you can't, luckily they're like an hour apart, which is a quite good timing because by the time my first friend books into the hotel, it will probably be about like half an hour or 40 minutes just to get up the other place and meet my other friend. So, you need to be, especially if you've got new people coming who don't know the area, you need to be kind of meeting them off the local transport and, like helping them out. If I was going to meet up and I didn't know where the heck I was going, I'd really appreciate it if the organizer was there to meet me. I'd love it. I don't think other organizers do that though. I don't know what they do, but I don't really hear of other people coming and say, oh, the organizer met me off the train or bus. I think from what I've seen that they expect people to turn up at the venue by themselves. But, I kind of love, I think if I was a person in their situation and I was new to the city and I didn't know where the heck I was going and what I was doing, if the organiser's there to greet me personally, I think that's really nice. If they're going out their way in their day to do that for me, and it puts me at ease, especially as a lot of people who come to my meetups, they've got anxiety. And I think one of the worst things with anxiety is the fact that you're meeting a ton of people for the first time you don't even know. And if that includes the organizer, say you've never met them in person, you've only spoke to them online, then that can be quite frightening and scary, do you know what I mean, for the first time. And so I think if an organizer can meet the people, the person, off their public transport when they come in, then that's good. I mean, some people they want to make their own way there. They don't want to be met off a bus or a train. But for other people, especially the people that have really strong anxiety, they tend to like that a lot more. It's more comforting for them because as soon as you meet them on your own, you're on a one-to-one basis a lot of the time, unless you've got other asexuals that have already turned up. Then you kind of they're getting to know people, less amount of people before they meet the whole group, if you know what I mean. And I think that puts them at ease. And there's a lot to arranging a national meetup in comparison to a local, but the principles are still the same. You still have to set a time and date, make sure that most of the people involved can get to that time and date. You should ask around, you should give them suggestions for dates and times in the beginning. Ask which one's better for them if you've gone around them, but always get the one person that's the one chocolate chip, as I call it, or the one white chocolate chip amongst the brown chocolate chips, that get that chocolate chip basically that's the person that's going to be that one person that turns up. The worst thing you want to do is organise a meetup and no one turns up. But if you've got one person who's reliable, you've made friends with them online, for example, you're getting on really well, and they're a really reliable person, they do what they say usually. So get that one person to come, and then if no one else turns up, you've still got a meetup because you're meeting up with another person. Do you know what I mean? And then hopefully, as the momentum builds the meetups, you'll get more and more people attending. And it's not actually quantity though; it's quality. I have people who come to my meetups, pretty much try and come to them every single meetup I do. Well, I have people that come to every meetup I do, unless they're really struggling, financial wise or sick, basically. And then I have people that try to come to nearly almost every meetup I do as well. And those people come out regularly. And it's so nice because we're at ease with each other. We catch up on each other's news, find out what the other's doing, and share our experiences of asexuality, but also of other stuff that's been happening in our lives. And I just think that's so nice. It's I've made the bestest friends in my life, really, at the asexual meetups. I mean, I have got a best friend that's not asexual, and I've been friends with her for 7 years. So outside of asexuality, she's my best friend. But in terms of asexuality, and more friends, I've made most of my friends now. The majority are asexual friends, especially the ones I talk to regularly. They're all asexual, aside from my female friend. But even usually my asexual friends keep in touch with me more than even my female friend I've known for years. I've known her for about 7 years, but she doesn't message that much by text. She likes to come and see me when she can, which is nice. But I do like that texting, I do like, my two bestest, closest asexual friends that I'm seeing on Saturday. One of them's coming tomorrow. They keep in touch with me every week, a few days a week. Do you know what I mean? And that just feels so good. It's I've always got someone there for me. They're always caring about me. They're always there just to tell me how their week's been or how their day's been or what they've been up to, and asking me how I am. And I just think that's really nice. It's kind of there's ongoing continuity there. Do you know what I mean? I do have my best female friend. She's amazing. And so, in terms of in between seeing each other, she's not one to text me that much, and I kind of miss that connectivity, to another human being. I know that's the way she's always been with me, and I'm used to it, but you know, and I know she goes out of her way to see me. I mean, she's gone through like 3 or 4 methods of transport just to see me in my city. So I know she really cares about me, but it's just like I do like the continuity of having people there, you know, every week and checking in with how you're doing, you checking in with them, and it just feels good. It's like you've got someone who always cares about you, and you know that, you know, if anything happened to you, these people would miss you. And I think that's the difference when you've got really pure, deep asexual friends in, well, with me it is asexual friends rather than sexual, you know, overall. You know, I mean, I've said about my friend, but you know, it's the deep connection, and it's the consistency and the persistency. You know, these people are not just come into my life like, oh hello, really love you, care about you, bye, I'm off. These people are consistent and persistent, and I feel comfortable enough that they're not just going to go from my life. They're steadfast and strong. They're like, I'm going to be in your life, I like you. Do you know what I mean? And in the past, I didn't really have anyone who appreciated me like they did. And I didn't have anyone who really cared about me like they did. And I didn't have anyone who really respected me and who really valued me and wanted me in their life, you know? And I know they want me in their life. I know that I make their life better by being here on this planet. And I think that really helps, you know, when I was suffering depression years ago, I didn't feel like that. I felt like no one cared. This is when I was in a really bad mindset. But bear in mind, I haven't been like this since before 2012 when I changed. And it's 2019 now, so I haven't had this mindset for 7 years. But back then, it was like, it's kind of hard to go back in that mindset. I don't really want to do it. But, you know, I didn't really feel anyone cared about me. You know, if I dropped down dead, no one would notice. And my mind was really in a bad place, you know, really bad place. I see now some of the mistakes I I don't believe there's anything such as mistakes. I think there's life lessons that we learn from, but I can see the difference now between my mind back then and my mind now. Like now I help more people. Now I personally care about loads of people in the world that I haven't even met before, like loads, you know, like I'm naturally care about asexual people. I can't help it, you know, and I naturally care about asexuality in general. It is inbred in me. It's like I was born to help asexuals. I'm not saying other people aren't, because there's loads of people that do, but I'm just saying I personally know I'm born, put on this earth to help asexuals. I know, looking back in my life, when I look back to my childhood, I know that I was asexual back then. I know the experiences that happened to me then, some bad experiences, now tell me I was asexual back then. For example, when I was 6 years old and the guy was asking to look at my private parts, which I was disgusted about and upset about for years of my life and felt guilty about it, even though he was asking and he was, you know, like, well, you know, I don't like that. You know, couldn't even talk about it for years, and especially not in public. And, you know, I think a naturally sexual person wouldn't feel like that. You know, because the guy was asking, he wasn't like pushing himself on me, or, you know, but he was kind of blackmailing me at the same time at 6 years old. It wasn't, I don't really want to go into details, but blackmailing me to still be his girlfriend and to love me, basically. And I didn't have self-love back then, you know? And so I was coming from a very weak place. And so, you know, I guess he kind of took advantage of that and was bad, blackmail me and stuff. You know, it's really weird. At 6 years old, I had to give him my food and stuff for him to carry on being my boyfriend and love me. It's really, I don't usually say this stuff, you know, it's kind of like, you know, it's like when I was 6. That's a long time ago in terms of birth certificate age, but I can still remember it very, very clearly. Very clearly, like it was yesterday, which kind of freaks me out sometimes. And so, you know, I wasn't, you know, the friends I had in my childhood, I wouldn't call the majority of them true friends. And the ones I thought were my best friends certainly weren't, you know? And so it's, well, there's one person that probably was at the time, but I mean, they don't even care about me these days, you know? They connect with me on Facebook, and then I think it's possibly because they found out I was asexual that they don't speak to me anymore. I don't know. Or it might just be them. But I mean, basically, you know, people reflect what they really are. And if they, you know, for whatever reason they don't want to be in touch with me anymore, that's fine. You know, fine. This is a person who used to live next door but wanted me and used to see me regularly when I was like, before I was 10. So from the age of 6 to 10, I think it was. So anyway, yeah, so people do go out of your life, but if they go out of your life, that's fine, isn't it? You know, makes a way for better quality people who care about you, who genuinely value your worth. And that's what I feel with my asexual friends now. I really feel they respect me, value me, they respect my boundaries, they care about me as a human being. They're not doing anything to get something out of me, not twisting anything, not being friends with me for any reason other than they really genuinely care about me and like spending time with me and like my personality and like being a friend to me. And they feel comfortable around me like I do with them. And I think that's super special. But if I hadn't organised the asexual meetups in the first place, I would never have met these people. That's why I'm saying it's so important that you attend asexual meetups, because it can truly change your life. Truly change your life. It's changed mine for the better forever. And you know, I was absolutely touched from the bottom of my heart. And I'll give a big shout out to Josie, right? Because Josie is someone in one of my asexual groups. She might be in probably in more than one, but she's in the asexual friends group. She's friends with me on Facebook. And me and my one of my local friends, me and him met up for lunch on Monday. And in the group, he said the question was like something about you're grateful for this week, or I can't remember the exact question, but I asked questions to keep people engaged in my groups, and it was something like, I don't know if it's what you're grateful for, what you're happy about. I can't remember. I've had a really busy day. I've been designing new asexual t-shirts. And so the first asexual emojis t-shirts are out on Redbubble. Check down below, by the way. I have to tell you that. Asexual emojis. I'm so excited about that. They're on Amazon, but they're on Redbubble. The Redbubble shop's down below. Click on it. It's really good. Amazing. Asexual emojis. It took me ages. I got an asexual flag emoji. And God, it's so cute. If you fancy fictional characters, I tell you, you'll fancy the asexual emoji flag, or the asexual flag emoji. It's amazing. It's so damn cute. I want to take the flag home with me. I'm like, this is a character I created, a fictional character, and I don't usually get attracted to fictional characters, but God, it's so cute. And it's a shame that I can't live stream with my mobile device and actually show you what the t-shirt looks like, but I don't think I can. I was trying to find out if there's any way I could do it, but I don't think there is, because I don't think it'll show on the screen. Now, let me just see if there's any way I can get it up on my iPad a minute. I don't think there is. Anyway, what was I saying? So I was saying that, yeah, I was just getting emojied out. Let me unlock my iPad. So yeah, if it wasn't for asexual meetups, I wouldn't be having these type of good quality relationships, you know? And I think it's really important. Sorry, I'm just going to try and see if I can get my shop up to show you, because this is stunning and the character is so cute. So I know there's some asexuals that do fancy fictional characters, or more than fancy. So if you're going to fancy something, fancy this one. It's so cute. I'm like, I don't usually fancy fictional characters, but hey, he's really cute. Well, I said it's a he, but it could be whatever you want it to be. It could be unisex. Redbubble.com. If you want to know my shop, it's redbubble.com/people/asexualize. Oh, asexualize. And the reason I started doing asexual t-shirts was because I saw on asexuality.org that people were asking for more asexual merchandise. But, you know, it's really cool because we've got new products coming. I've got shower curtains, asexual shower curtains coming, and asexual bath mats. I do so much stuff on there already that you wouldn't believe, you know? Like, people just think, oh, there's only t-shirts available. I sell clocks, travel mugs, ordinary mugs, dresses for asexuals, skirts, blouses, hoodies. What have I typed in wrong? I've typed it in right and it's saying it's not valid. Oh, have I not put P on shop? No, I have. Oh, I spelled it incorrectly because I'm too busy nattering. Asexualize, S-E, and shop. Thank you for still watching. Bear with me. I'll give this video a thumbs up if you're liking the content at all while you're waiting for me to get this. I would really appreciate that. Right. Let me see if I can show you. This asexual emojis is amazing. Right, I've got 136 favourites on for my designs on Redbubble. Look, this I think is incredibly cute. If I can show you, thanks for the thumbs up. If I can show you, it's taking a while because my Wi-Fi is a bit slow in here. Is it going? Oh, look at this, is so cute. Look, I hope you can see this. Can you see that? Look at that. That is proper asexual emoji there. Look at that. Wow. I don't think you can see the colour exactly, but it's got a grey and it's a flag colour. So it's got black, purple, white and grey flag colours in a, with a little smiley face in a yellow bubble, like a proper emoji. Just look at that. I think that personally is stunning. I think that is so cute. I'm like, oh my god, it's so cute. His face is so cute. Like, really, really cute. Look, this is him. It doesn't have to be a him. You can say whatever gender you want, but I call it a him. Look at this. Isn't this cute? I feel like I'm talking to a doggy now. Look at that. Oh my god. Look. Person's got a great big smile on their face. I can tell why. Look. Isn't it so cute? It's like an asexual emoji character. I think it's probably the first asexual emoji in the world. And obviously everyone's going to start trying to copy me now. They usually do. It's really madness. It's not very nice, really, but in one sense. But I guess it's a flattering in the other sense that they think everything I produce is going to sell, so they're just going to create it anyway. But yeah, I think that's really cool. Took me ages to do that. Seriously, I've got other emojis, not just that one. I've uploaded that one. I did that one today, and I've got another one as well that I did. Oh yeah, this is my other one, but it's got an asexual mouth to it. So yeah, he's got the whole thing all over him. That's huge. I might have to reduce that a little bit. But this is like a really long, big t-shirt. But I'll show you in here. This is like really cool. I love this. Look at this. Wow, look at that. I think that asexual, look, that's another asexual emoji. Can you see its mouth? Its mouth is in the asexual flag colours. And again, I created that myself. Like years ago, I couldn't even imagine creating asexual t-shirts, designing anything. Like, I didn't even think I could design anything. Like, when I see myself doing this, I'm like, is it really me who's done it, And that's what it looks like in a smaller t-shirt, not the big, long thing. Look. I think that's really sweet. But yeah, I've got like tons of likes, 136 favorites, for my designs. So it's amazing. So thank you for that. But if it wasn't for the asexual community, I would never have been designing t-shirts. So I just think, that I want to, praise everyone in the asexual community. And I want to talk to you about Josie. That's what I was talking about. So in my asexual group, I think there was a question, and my friend said, to meet Sandra Bellamy and have lunch with her on Monday, which is what we did. So I can't remember if he said thankful, grateful, happy about something that the post was about. And my Facebook friend Josie, I've never met in real life before, she goes, that's something that's on my bucket list, to meet Sandra one day. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing that she feels that way about me. Like, do you know what I mean? I know she's a really nice person. I know we've always gotten well. But we both do a lot of different things, and we don't talk that much one-on-one. And to actually say to my friend who does live in my city that, it's on my bucket list to meet Sandra one day, I just felt incredible. I'm like, oh my gosh, this person who I don't really know that well, one of her goals, ambitions and dreams is to meet me in person. And I'm just like, was blown away by that. I feel so elated and so happy and humble and thankful, that person feels that way about me. And I think if you've got anyone's feelings like that in your hand, I think if anyone really cares about you and feels things like that for you and about you, I think, it's just a true blessing. You've really got to really acknowledge that, because I think a lot of people in this world, they take people for granted. They don't appreciate people. We live in such a hectic world these days. There's so much bad media press, right? There's so much bad stuff going on in the world that we forget to acknowledge and really big up the stuff that is big. That's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. She said, I'm on a bucket list. I mean, bucket lists, if you didn't know what a bucket list is, it's like X amount of things you need to do on a list before you die, basically. That's imperative that you do them and finish them, because that's what you've got to do. It's like, I've got loads of life purposes and goals with me. I tend to not have a bucket list, but I have things, always goals, ambitions and dreams that I'm constantly working to, constantly. And I know I've got to live a long time, because at least 100, because I have got loads of life purposes I need to fulfill. And I know that. The thing with me is, at the moment, I've got like one, two, three projects plus others on the go at once, but 3 major projects that I have to do and finish on the go at once. One is my asexual book. I'm working on 2 other business stuff that doesn't have anything to do with asexuality, but I still need to do them. They're other income streams and their business stuff, like for entrepreneurs, business people, to help them out and stuff. Oh, actually, one of them could be for not necessarily entrepreneurs. It could just be people at home that want to make some more money, and I found out a way of doing that. So yeah, it's all good. But so yeah, I'm really, really excited to be having this asexual meetup. 4 days of being with asexuals is absolutely incredible. I'm gonna love every minute of it. I just get, because I'm an extrovert as well. Like, extroverts are different to introverts, right? Because extroverts get their energy from other people. When we're around other people, it's like we've put our battery on charge and we've plugged it into the mains, and the tempo is so high on it. Like, it's like we've got huge voltage, right? It's like elating, right? When introverts go out around other people, after a certain amount of time, they can get energy drained and they need to go into themselves more, go into their homes more, spend some time by themselves, because to kind of recuperate from being around everyone. That's like kind of like I'm kind of extreme extrovert in some ways, and that would be kind of like an extreme introvert. But I am not an extreme extrovert in the sense I do have some introverted tendencies, which some other people wouldn't be able to do. So I can be at home on my own for days doing my work, doing website work. People don't realise what I do. I mean, I actually go to sleep whenever I feel like it. I don't set the alarms unless I've got to get up for a reason. I did today, but like if I've got an appointment to go to, I have to get up, or if I'm meeting someone, I have to get up. But I tend to go to sleep when I'm really tired, whatever hour that might be, where it's 4 a.m. or earlier, and then I get up when I naturally wake up and need to get up, and then I normally spend some time trying to get my mind set right for the day, and then I'm just like on the like doing website stuff. So like this week I've created 5 new t-shirts for asexuals. They're all emoji ones. I've got the 2 I showed you and 3 others besides. 3 others are already on Amazon. I haven't put them on Redbubble yet, because Redbubble takes a lot longer. You got to upload them to about 28 different products and then rearrange them. You've got them on tapestries and duvets and like notepads and laptop cases and phone cases. Yep, you can get all that. All my designs for asexuals, covering all those different categories. So the clocks I love. So it's huge. It's a lot of work, whereas Amazon tend to be like one product, although they've got multiple products now on Amazon and beta testing. But at the moment, my beta test is not working. It's grayed out. So that's not very successful, but it will be. And the fact they're getting more products on Amazon is great. So I'm just really looking forward to the asexual meetup. I'm really looking forward to seeing all my asexual friends. If you do have the opportunity to go to a meetup, please do so. It really, even if you're introverted, it will still give you some energy, because you will feel more vibrant and happy with people who understand you. A lot of the time, for example, depression does stem from a lack of being understood. That is one kind of really big thing about depression. One is that you're spending too much time on your own. Even if you're introverted, you need to get out 2 is you're spending time negatively thinking about yourself and your life and everything bad in it, rather than focusing on any possible slight thing that's good. You know, anything like the fact you woke up this morning, right? So what we focus on expands. So you need to be thinking about the positive stuff, even if there's not much. You need to focus on the stuff that is, because the more you focus on the stuff that is, the more things will get better in your life, you know. But it's also being misunderstood. For years of my life, my parents never understood me as a kid. A lot of the time, you know, they even said, I don't understand you. You know, and I don't know if that was partly to do with my asexuality. I think it's partly to do with my personality, really, because my personality is very different. They're introverted, I'm extroverted. So, but I've got introverted friends and they still understand me. So, but my parents do understand me more now and better since I've told them I'm asexual, and since I've realised I'm asexual, they do understand me better. So they are better now. So I don't know if that was some of the misunderstanding years ago, because they used to like, well, why don't you like sex? And in fact, I never liked nudity. My mum thought it was because I was insecure or jealous, and that was purely the reason. It's like, no, it's not to do that. It's just I hate it. I don't like a boyfriend like that, because I just hate it myself, and I just think it's so wrong. I know loads of asexuals would disagree, but that's my mindset. I know that most of the asexuals in this planet still don't mind nudity and think that's fine to look at that, but I don't actually like it. I can't stand it. I can't stand it in paintings. I can't stand it in sculptures. I can't stand the woman's naked body is far worse to look at than the men's. It's like, I'm not attracted to women. Why would I want to see that in my face? Do you know what I mean? It's like, put it away. I don't need to see that. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to see the male anatomy either. I mean, it's not to my liking. Do you know what I mean? It's not something I really particularly find attractive. But, you know, it's like, I just don't like, you know, nudity. And I've believed that if you're with someone, that you should only be looking at them naked. If you're going to look at someone naked, it should be your partner, not other people. I just always believed that in my life, you know? Like, there's no reason to look at other people naked. You can look at them clothed if you need to. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't see the point. It riles me up a bit, you know. But everything else can be quite chilled about. But that just annoys me. So that's why it's better to stay single. Or if I find a guy, I'd like to find someone who wasn't interested in nudity. Like, it really, like, when they say they're not interested in it, they're really not interested in it. Like, if someone flashed their bits in front of them and be like, what the hell are you doing? What the F, do you know what I mean? And, you know, my best friend that's coming tomorrow, he's very much like that. Like, he doesn't like nudity either, and I'm so happy that I found him as my friend. I'm so happy that someone finally understands me like that. He was exactly the same as me on that. He hates nudity. He can't stand it. He doesn't see a point in it. He thinks there's no need for it, you know? And so finally someone in the world understands me. And I think that's the beauty of asexuality, is you will always normally find someone at some level that understands you when you were misunderstood before. You'll always find someone that understands a part of you that previously, in the heterosexual, heteronormative world that we're all having to conform to for years of our life, until we realize we're asexual, or till we go our own way anyway, you know, that type of life, the heterosexual life, when you're asexual, it's kind of like a bit of a puzzle. It's kind of like you just can't really relate to it as much. You feel disassociated. You feel like you get it, but you're not quite with it. You know, you're not quite. You feel like an alien, really. I can't describe it any other way. Like, it's like a bit like you're an alien amongst all these other, or you're not the alien, they are. But do you know what I mean? It's kind of like you feel like an alien, even though you're not. You know, you don't have to alienate yourself from these people. You can still be around sexuals. You can still talk to them. Still have friends that are sexuals, everything like that. But you kind of feel like an alien, as in the sense that you're on another planet, as in the sense that you don't think the same way. You know, like, sex is not something you naturally want to do. You don't go around thinking, I want to have sex. Oh, let's have sex. Oh, it's not something you naturally do. And so when people go on about it, you're like, and really? You know what I mean? And I remember as a kid that I used to love because I'm romantic asexual. You know, I used to love the romance. I used to, like, with guys, so it wasn't a case of I just fancied them for a little bit. It was a case of, like, I felt like love feelings for them, even as a teenager, for like a couple of years. I remember this one guy, and he was a really bad boy. And for 2 years I had feelings. It wasn't like proper love as such, because I experienced real love quite a few times in my adult hyper romantic life. But you know, it's kind of like, even though, you know, I can fall in love quickly, which I try not to do these days, but occasionally it does happen, as you know. I hold my hands up to that. But you know, like back then, you know, it's like it wasn't. I found it odd that most teenagers, they would just fancy someone maybe for a couple of months, a few months, maybe even a few days, and then it's kind of over. You know, there was nothing really that prolonged it, nothing really that carried it on. But for me, like, I never got the interest in sex. I never thought about sex with any of the guys I like, but I always thought about really fancying them, really wanting to be like close to them, like holding hands or kissing them, and just spending time with them, being around them as a couple. That's the type of thing I used to think about. And I would, you know, I'd be attracted to the same guy for like 2 years non-stop. And who wasn't good for me, you know, who was actually really bad, you know, and who would kind of take the mickey out of me as well because he knew I liked him. And I would send him these Valentine's cards anonymously and stuff like that. But you know, it's all kind of weird back then, which you know, it's really weird I'm remembering all this stuff now, you know. And there was other guys I was attracted to, but not as much as that guy who wasn't so good. But you know, the guys I was attracted to were always different guys. You know, there was one guy, and I remember his name was Martin, and people didn't like him, and I kind of end up being attracted to people sometimes that other people don't like, in terms of like no one wants to bother with them or care about them, not as in the terms of they're really really nasty people, just that maybe they are a bit like, do play up a little bit and don't play by the rules exactly, and you know, like, well, maybe they were a bit naughty. But yeah, but this particular guy Martin, you know, I remember like I was a maths class, so no one would lend him the rubber. I don't mean a condom, by the way, because obviously condoms are called rubbers as well. I mean the actual eraser, you know, to rub things out with them. I lent him mine. I used to lend him my stuff, and he used to give it back, and I used to feel I bonded with him through that type of thing. Like, that's how I find it's really difficult now, because I bond with guys very differently to how other people would. So I can feel like I've got a really special bond with a guy, and sometimes I felt that with guys on the internet, and it's like I've only just met them. And it's kind of like, but it reminds me of that time back then where I just felt bonded to people who are different, because it's like I understand them when a lot of other people don't. And it kind of like makes a special bond then. That's why I get drawn, I think, to guys who are different, because it's like I don't want someone who's normal per se. I've never wanted that, because I like to have a special bond. And I think if I'm just like pursuing or interested in guy, which is loads of people are interested in, it's like, how is that going to be special between me and them? Because every person fancies them and then probably fancy everyone else. It's kind of like not very special, is it? So I kind of like a unique and special bond between me and them. And I remember this guy, I really used to have that kind of like bond with him because no one else really used to want to know him. I think he had like what they call a broken home. So I think his parents were split up, and I don't know if he'd been in care or what, but I know they treat him differently, and part of it's to this home and, you know, what was going on at home. But you know, it's like I get attracted to autistic guys, asexual guys, a lot of different autistic asexual guys. It's because I'm attracted to autistic guys because they are different, but there's lots of special qualities about them, you know. They are very creative, they're very intelligent, they're engrossed in lots of projects, and I get attracted to the busyness, you know, the vibrancy, the energy of when they get engrossed in different things. So it's kind of like I feel that for them. I think the danger if they get into relationships, some of them, is like they might be so engrossed in that becomes their little sort of bonded thing, and then it's hard for you to emotionally connect and bond with that person because they're so engrossed in their own thing. I think that could potentially become an issue with some of the people I know. With others, no, because they include you in what's happening in their life and include you in their projects and include you in what's happening. So I think, you know, it depends on the person, the individual, as to whether they want their projects like for themselves and to be secret about it and not tell you about it, or where you've got the really healthy type of relationship where, you know, they want to share their projects and what they're working on with you and tell you all about it, and you know, discuss how they're feeling about it, and you know, you discuss your projects and what you're doing. And obviously that's a much more romantic type of healthy soulmate type of relationship to be in, whereas the other, You know, it's all right if they're your friends and they don't really tell you much, but you know, if you're thinking about possibly a relationship with a person like that, you need them to be open, really. Otherwise, you could feel shut out of their life. And I think, you know, if you're a type of person who's been shut out of other people's lives when you're younger, like you were depressed or people weren't including you, and you know, you really felt like an outsider. I think that as you do get more into your years, you know, years go by, that if that pattern is then repeated later on in your life, it can be very damaging to your soul and to your mindset. You know, it can be like, well, I was excluded when I was a kid. If you love me, why are you excluding me now? You know, so I think, you know, in terms of having a loving, happy, healthy relationship, if you are a person who has lots of projects on the go, if you're going to turn a friendship into a romantic relationship, for example, you need to kind of be including them in your projects. You need to be talking about your projects and opening up. You know, they might not have the same passion for their projects as you do, but you can still share what's going on in your life. Like, you know, you can still share what you're working on, what you're doing, how you're doing it, what other people you've got involved, and just talking about it. Like, you talk about your day, because projects really are kind of like someone would talk about their work. I mean, maybe people don't talk about their work as much as I did or do. But you know, it's kind of like, you know, you just sort of set the scene. I mean, one of my friends, he's always kind of included me in his projects. You know, he watches this channel, one of my best friends. He's always kind of telling me what's going on, and that's really nice, you know, what he's doing, what he's working on. I feel really a part of his life, you know, all the time, which is really, really lovely. To be honest, I'm more used to that with romantic relationships. I'm not so used to that with just a friend, but it's really, really nice. And yeah, I just think, you know, if you've got the opportunity to meet asexuals, just give it a go, because it gives you something that's probably been lacking in your life, and in a healthy way, you know, like, because everyone does need friends. I mean, you should be able to live on your own without anyone, technically speaking, because, you know, you need to be a self-contained unit and not rely on anyone but yourself. However, I was a teacher for the NHS, National Health Service in the UK, and I used to teach people, excuse me, just having water. I used to teach people with mental health difficulties how to recover from mental health through the use of social media, such as blogging. And I learned the 5 ways to well-being, and one of those is connection to others. And so it's very healthy and helps your well-being if you can actually interact with other people online and in person, right? Because, you know, we as human beings naturally need connection. We naturally need to be speaking to other people, be interacting, and that's the only way we really improve ourselves, to be honest. If we shut ourselves away behind a computer screen and we just stay the way we are, we don't grow, we don't stretch ourselves, we're not challenged, we just kind of stay the same, milling along in life, and then our life becomes like stagnant, stale. You think, what's the purpose of it? And that makes you depressed, you see. So it's only by actually getting out and meeting people and thinking of other people and doing things for other people and with people that you kind of get out of your own head and start thinking outside of yourself. And therefore it becomes more healthy for you. And the connection, you know, like, is amazing. Like, I would always recommend you see people in person as well, not just online. You need to be seeing people in person. That needs to be a priority, because people online, you're still only seeing what they want you to see, or what the social media platform wants you to see. You're still only seeing a snippet of their life. You're not seeing who they truly are as a person. You're not stood next to them, looking at their eye movements, looking at their body language, feeling the vibe between you and them, you know? So when you meet up in person, you can feel like a warmth if they're a good person with you, you know, if you're a good friend with you, you can feel their warmth and their vibrancy. You can feel their caringness because of the energy they exude. Is exude the right word? The energy they give off, basically. And so it just makes you feel really good, you know. That's why I love being around asexuals, even though they're very different to me, you know. I'm not going to say I agree with, or they agree with me on absolutely everything, because we're very different mindsets, some of us, you know. But when you do find asexuals that you click with on an even more deep level, which you do kind of like, even though you may be different, you really kind of like agree with each other on the differences, if you know what I mean. I don't know how to explain it, but you're that comfortable with each other, that caring, that like friendship love with each other, that you really really admire the way they talk to you, admire them being around you. You can feel their good energy. You can just really become a part of their life. And I just think that's amazing. So I would always say, go to a sexual meetup, meet people in person. Don't just do it online. If you can't be with a huge group of people, then try to go to a meetup where there's only very few people there, or arrange one yourself with just a couple of people. It's always better to really start off smaller and then get bigger. Like, my meetups aren't huge. The most I've ever had at meetups is 10 people at one time, and most of them average about 6 or 7 people these days. My first meetups averaged about 4 to 5 at the most. Well, my very, very first meetups was only me and 2 other people, and then it used to go to about an average of 3 or 4, and then I think it was average of 4 or 5, and now we're averaging 6 or 7 per meetup in general, but I'm okay with that, because the people that come are quality people. They're people that I get on so well with, and I actually do like smaller groups. Personally, I do like smaller groups. That's what I'm used to. I haven't been to a bigger asexual meetup yet. I'm not sure that I will. I might do in the future, but my meetups might get bigger and bigger, but I'm okay with the size they are, because the people I meet usually, well, lately most of the regulars come, so that's great because I know these people already, but usually there's one person that comes that's different. And there was going to be someone that was going to come from asexuality.org, but they couldn't come this time because something happened which they couldn't not attend, and it clashes. So anyway, I'm going to end it there. Just be proud of yourself. Go and find some asexuals somewhere as close as you can get to your home. Travel if you need to. Meet other asexuals in person. There's no better thing. And you can make some truly beautiful friendships, and you just get such a good euphoric feeling that you can be yourself around these people, whereas you might have felt left out years ago. You can actually feel a part of something, feel like these people get you. These are your people. Everyone else in the heterosexual world is kind of in their own planet, and we're in that planet too sometimes, but we've got our own planet and world, our ace world. So anyway, until next time, embrace your quirky and each other. If you haven't already subscribed, subscribe now. Hit the thumbs up button if you like this video. Hit the bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. Like I said, subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you as part of my community here. I know there's been a couple of asexuals that have been watching pretty much the majority of this video for over an hour now, so my love to you. Love you implicitly for staying on that long. I really appreciate you, appreciate your time, appreciate your energy, appreciate your friendship so much. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in tonight. Thank you to everyone who's going to be watching this after it's recorded live. And I will see you next on the next video or live stream. You have to understand that I'm with asexuals for the whole weekend. So there might be sometimes that I can't do live streaming over this weekend, particularly on Saturday where I'm out all day to the really late at night. So that might be a day that I miss. But I try to live stream every day on this channel, as you know. Anyway, until next time, embrace your quirky and each other, and I will see you as soon as possible. And have an ace time. Lots of love. Thank you for tuning in. Bye. Take care. Don't forget the thumbs up. Bye.